are you? My name is Vanessa Ortelli. This is my YouTube channel, and this is my little sidekick, Penelope, who loves to sit next to me when I film my videos. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about my experience with cognitive behavioral therapy, otherwise known as CBT. And so I did cognitive behavioral therapy. I was referred by a couple friends of mine, and if any of you have followed me or know my story, you know that I lost my mom when I was young. And so I went to therapy to see if there was anything left over and residual from my past experience that was preventing me from moving forward and really accelerating in my life today. And therapy really does look at your past and tries to figure out who you are today based on your past. But one thing that's for sure is that we all have a past, and you really get to choose today whether you play victim to that past or whether you really use that past as something that you are then grateful for, because it makes you the person that you are today and really gives you different lessons that you can learn from to become your best self, and better yet, find your authentic true self. And so when I went to therapy, we went through this book, Mind Over Mood. It's a pretty standard book that a lot of therapists go through. You can literally find it at any bookstore. And I want to share with you one thing that really resonated with me, is that we all have very similar triggers, and what they call in therapy are thought records. So I'm going to explain what all of that means. So what that means is anything that upsets you in your everyday life really boils down to a couple triggers. And I'll tell you what my triggers were, and I'll show you how I got there. But my triggers, I have a couple triggers. One is that I have this fear of being alone forever, and that stems, from losing a parent. And my second fear is really that I am doing something wrong and that I'm not good enough. These are very common fears and triggers of people. My second fear and trigger is because my mom was sick most of her life, and I was trying to help out, or most of her life, most of my life. And when I was 6, she was first diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I tried as a 6-year-old to do as much as I could, but it never felt good enough for me. And so I had this not good enough ingrained in who I was. So the great thing about cognitive behavioral therapy is recognizing what those triggers are so that you can address them when they arise, because they will arise in the future. And so I'm going to give you an example of what might even trigger that. You could have someone not text you back and or not return your phone call, and you, in your mind, because it's a smart little cookie, it reverts back to you being alone forever. And let me explain how that may come about so that maybe you can use these techniques to really understand what your triggers are. And so within this book, you do a ton of thought records. So what it is it's looking at a situation that pissed you off that week, how you felt when it pissed you off, and most importantly, really, really heightening your awareness of what you were thinking when that happened. So I'm going to give you a quick example. I usually will do this while talking out loud, and I really encourage you to focus on this so you can maybe get to some of those deep triggers. But let's say we'll use the example of, someone not texting you back, because it's so relevant in today's society. But someone might not text you back, and then you start thinking to yourself, oh, did I do something wrong? Well, so what if I did something wrong? Well, if I did something wrong, then it means this person doesn't like me anymore, or they wouldn't ever like me. And so what if this person doesn't like you? Well, if they don't like me, then I'm sure other people don't like me. Okay, well, so what if people don't like you? Well, if people don't like you, then you're not going to have any friends. And if you don't have any friends, well, then you're going to be alone forever. And so that was a very abbreviated version of what might go through your mind, but I really, really encourage you, write down things that really pissed you off this week. And it could be something small, like someone not texting you back, or someone being rude to you on the street, or someone not smiling back, or whatever that is to you. And think about why and what was going through your mind when that happened, so you can really get to that nitty-gritty of those triggers. And yeah, when I went through these thought records, I realized that everything that pissed me off really boiled down to those 2 triggers that I shared with you, of being alone forever and me not doing something right, and doing something wrong and really not being good enough. And these are really common, and I share these with you because I want you to know that we all feel them, and we are not alone in feeling that we are inadequate and that we are not good enough and that we are not loved and that we are afraid to be alone. These are very human things to feel, and so I feel them, and I want to share that with you to show you that we are all going through the exact same thing. So go through those cognitive behavioral therapy steps. Let me know what you find and what some of your triggers might be. But I am here for you, and I hope that I can be real and in my vulnerability give you the courage to be vulnerable and find out who your authentic self is as well. So sending you so much love. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.